Hello everybody, this is Michael from Studio ARS, and welcome to this webinar on the top 5 ways to boost your civil 3D pipe design with Urbano Visio. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, Urbano Visio is an add-in for civil 3D, and it's made specifically for pipe design. Okay, so just a quick look at today's agenda. So as you all saw in the invitation, so we are going to take a look at some features reported by our users to be the top features, the top tools they are using. So I'm going to show you how to change the pipe diameter for multiple pipes at once, set a uniform structure sump depth for multiple structures, create IFC models which have data actually and not just the geometry. And then we're going to talk about pipe invert editing, and especially how to set a uniform slope for multiple pipes. And in the end, I'm going to show you how to quickly get make a calculation for the trench volume estimates. Okay, so before we start, I just quickly want to point out that you can get Urbano Visio on the Autodesk App Store. So you need to go to Civil 3D, and here you just start typing Urbano, and the trial version will be found, and you can download it here. You also have all the instructions here and videos and so on. This should be quite simple to do. It's a free trial, so everybody can try it, everybody can use it. If you have any problems, of course there are contacts, so get in touch and we will help you. Okay, so let's jump straight into Civil 3D. Okay, so the first thing you notice is of course, this is a standard Civil 3D, and once you install on Urbano Visio, it will show up on the ribbon. So currently there's 12 different tools, and some settings and so on. And today I'm going to show you just 4 of them. So there's a lot more that you can do actually with the program. So to start, I'm going to use this analyze and edit data tool, and you can probably see on the bottom of the screen there's a table with lots of data and some buttons. Okay, so the general idea about this tool is you have a lot of data in Civil 3D, and it's probably the easiest way to analyze this data, to get a grip on this data, is to show it in a table. So you can compare different pipes, different structures, and get to understand what's going on in your design. So Civil 3D, of course, features this with the pipe vista and the structure vista. So what is different? Well, the thing that it's different here is that you can create your own groups of data, so you can create your own vistas if you want for pipes, for structures. You can give your own names, you can add any data that's available in Civil 3D, and so you have full control on this. Another thing that's important is you also get some context. So, for example, if I start selecting some structures here, they will start to show in the drawing. It's the same with pipes. So once I start selecting in this table, you immediately see what you're actually selecting in the drawing. So you always get this context. You know what you're doing, and of course you can also zoom in to any particular pipe or structure in the layout, but also in the profile. So I can just zoom in and go directly to the profile and see this pipe. Okay, so this is a small site, and we have a profile here. So I'm just going to start show you what we got. For example, one thing that's also specific for this tool is you determine yourself on the data set that you're working with. So you could be looking at just a few pipes, or you can be looking, for example, at one profile. So I can go and select any profile that's existing in this project and just select it like this. And as you can see, when I select these rows in the table, I immediately see it in the profile as well, and we can see it in the plan view as well. Okay, so that's a good thing. You know actually what you're doing. So as I said, you determine your own groups of data, what you want to see. So the program comes pre-configured with some groups. For example, you can see the pipe descriptions and the shape and so on. I will be using this group pipe geometry, and in this group I have this value inner diameter. Okay, and for example, if I want to change this diameter, okay, it's quite simple. I just right-click, select Edit Diameter, and immediately my part list opens up, and it allows me to select a different pipe from this group. Okay, so I can select, in this case, an 18-inch pipe, and we can see the label changed immediately. The pipe changed as well. And okay, if we go here, you can also see in the picture that this pipe is bigger. This is an 18-inch pipe. This is a 15-inch pipe. Okay, so that's it. It's that simple. So again, just click on the pipe you want to change, right-click, say Edit Value, and just select the new value from the list, and everything will change immediately. Okay, and of course I'm showing you the profile so it's visible. You don't have to actually look at the profile for this to work. You can be anywhere in the picture. It's enough to have the data, but it's easier to do it this way, of course. And of course, this works for structures as well. This basically works for any kind of data. You can bulk edit any kind of data that is available for editing within Civil 3D. So for example, you can see this column here is grayed out. This means Civil 3D does not allow you to edit this manually by inputting a different number. And of course, this is because slope is a value that is calculated. Okay, so it's not something that you can just enter and set, but you can change names, you can change elevations, you can change diameters, of course, covers, and so on. Okay, so in a similar way, if you want to change for example, the sump of some structures, again, to see it clearly, I can go over to this group, to this configuration that shows the structures. Again, once I click on them, they get selected in the drawing, so I know exactly what I'm changing. And if I zoom in a little bit, so again, the procedure is exactly the same. Right click, edit value, input the new value. For example, I can say, I don't know, 2 feet, for example. And you can see the sump is changed immediately. You can see the new value in the table, but also you see it immediately also in the drawing. And I can do this, again, I can bulk edit. I can do this for everything. I can say, okay, not 14, but 1 feet, for example, and 1 foot, and everything changes immediately. Okay, so basically anything that's available for you to change, so anything that's not grayed out, you can just go in and change. You can change, the way the sump is controlled. You can input any value for elevation, cover, thickness, anything you want. So any data that's available inside of Civil 3D, you can change it here and watch the effects immediately. Okay, so you have all of this data in Civil 3D, and hopefully with this tool you'll be able to edit and analyze it a little bit better. And then there's something which is a procedure that is getting more and more popular these days, is to make an IFC export of your Civil 3D pipe network. So for some beam workflows or for request by request or whatever it is, IFC export is getting more and more popular. And of course, Civil 3D does have this option, so there's nothing new. So you just type IFC export, and you can do it, and that's just fine. The problem is the Civil 3D export is just the geometry. So you will get a nice 3D picture, and unfortunately you will get no data attached to this picture. But there is one thing, one workflow which is kind of new, and that is the possibility to use the property set data with this IFC export. So property set data is kind of an old data type, but it's kind of a new data type in Civil 3D. So it really started to show sometime around version 2017. So if you have 2017 with the latest patch, or 2018 or 2019, 2018, 2019, you're fine. You are covered. If you are older, you don't really have so good access to this kind of data type, or you don't have access at all. Okay, so if you want to take a look at property set data, of course, there's the command property set define. So again, this is Civil 3D, okay, not to make a mistake. And you can define your data here, you know, apply it to certain objects, pipes, structures, and so on. So you can manage this, all of this through the Civil 3D interface. So there's no issue. But again, as I said, the problem is when you're making an IFC export, you get just the geometry. You also get the property set data, but to get your data into property set data, you have to copy them. So, and this is exactly what we did. So with this property set data manager, you get an important additional function. So you can, first of all, you can select your network. So in this case, we have two pipe networks. You also select, are you adding data for pipes or for structures? Then you have your existing property data sets, which you can use, or you can create a new one. So in this case, I will create a new one. I will just call it test. And I can just go on and create, blank, some blank placeholders. And in these blank placeholders, I can input any data from Civil 3D, okay? So this is your standard Civil 3D data. So I will insert network name, and you can see the source data is from Civil 3D, and the destination data is so the property set data is here on the left side. Okay, and so I can just go on. So for example, name, and then I can scroll down a little bit and for example use slope. Okay, and then the next thing, for example, I can use length, and I can, for example, select inner diameter. Okay, and these two actually we don't need. So okay, let's say this is my little group, and now I just click on write. Okay, and what this does is it copies the current state of the Civil 3D data to the property set data. Okay, so it's not a dynamic link, it's just simple copy operation. Okay, and I can do this also for the sanitary sewer. My group is, let's say, set already. If I want to change, I can change, but I can use the same. I can just say write. And okay, and now I have some property set data with some values. And if we go into the Civil 3D settings for property set data, you will see that this new group has now appeared, and it has the these data names inside, and descriptions, types, everything was set by this Urbano Visio tool. Okay, so you can do all of this manually and then link it, or you can just do it automatically like this. Okay, and now you make an IFC export in the usual way, nothing special. Okay, you just make a project, and I'll say overwrite existing IFC file. And of course, now we have to wait a little bit for the IFC file to get created. So this is your standard Civil 3D procedure. There's nothing special about it. The special thing is we loaded all the data into property set data, so that we can get it in the IFC model. Okay, and now you can open any kind of IFC file viewer. There's no particular reason why I choose this one, except that I like it because it's fast and also it's free, so that's nice. And the important thing is when I click now on any pipe, you see here on the right side I get my data from Civil 3D. Okay, so once again, this is not a live link. I actually went and copied the data from Civil 3D. So you have to do it before you make the IFC export, and then you can ship your IFC file to the person you need to ship it to, and they will actually get access to your design data, to the design data which you determine. So for example, length and diameter, pipe diameter, and network name and slope, and you can input color, elevation, material description, whatever you like. Okay, so it's up to you. And once again, any viewer. Okay, so I choose this one. You can choose Navisworks. You can choose a different viewer. It's all the same. There's nothing special to take care of. Okay. So moving on. Now I'd like to jump in to a different example. And I will just take the opportunity to say, so far I've been showing you an example in the imperial settings, and now I'm moving over to metric. So we have a bit of a mixed audience, so a little bit for everybody. Urbano Visio works on both settings, so it's completely irrelevant. If you are on metric, it will work on metric with your with the metric pipes and structures. If you are in imperial, it will work with your pipes and structures which you have in your lists. Okay, and again, here we have a little bit different this profile. So again, it's not important. You make the profiles the usual way you make them with Civil 3D. You make the plan view in the usual way you make it, so you don't have to pay attention to any of this stuff, because Urbano Visio directly it goes to the source, it goes to the data within Civil 3D and uses this data directly. And also an important thing to say is the program uses Civil 3D objects and Civil 3D functions. Okay, so the end effect is not some weird thing, but it's just your standard Civil 3D drawing. There's nothing special about it. And you can give it to somebody that doesn't have this add-in, and it will work just fine. So no worries about that. Okay, so I want to show you now a little bit about profiles, as this is seems to be quite a hot topic among the pipe design community. So we have several tools for working with profiles. So you can, if you don't like the rules, You can actually draw the pipe invert manually. You can edit structures, move, delete, add directly in the profile. You can draw some parallel lines of the terrain, for example. This is a very small, very simple tool. But today I want to show you the editing, the profile editing, okay? Because it's probably something you will use the most. So I have a profile here, and in general, it's enough just to start by selecting a range in the profile. And once again, the program shows you, okay, you selected this range, okay, from the starting structure. So this is the starting structure with the X, and this is the ending structure. Let's just unclick all of this. And the program gives me some basic information. Hopefully you can read at least something. So it gives me the depth of the pipe invert and the elevation and the terrain elevation, and also this is my slope currently. And if I want to change the slope, for example, from 2% to 2.5, I just type in 2.5, I click away, and the program will show me how this will look, okay? And I can just click on apply, and the new profile will be applied, okay? So it's quite simple, the basics. So once again, you select a starting structure and an ending structure. You just type in a different slope. The program shows you how the new slope will look. If it's fine with you, you can just click on apply, and that's it. You get it. Okay. Of course, there's much more that you can do with this. So, for example, I will again select the same structures. So you can adjust the elevations, okay? So you can see now that I can, nicely walk around, and for example, I can go here and directly click inside of the drawing. I can do the same for the end structure. So I get this. Of course, I can input numbers directly as well. So I can say, for example, okay, 2.2, and as soon as I input something, the program will show me the change. Okay, it shows me always immediately how it looks. I can also change the slope, so then it will recalculate the elevations. Okay, so the elevation, of course, and the slope, they are tied together. When I change one, the other gets recalculated, and it's all happening in real time. It's all automatic. There's nothing special you need to take care of, and you see the results of your actions immediately in the picture, how this will look. And once you're satisfied, as I said, just click on apply, and that's it. Okay, a couple more features that are interesting. So when I select some structures, I can choose to change the adjacent sections. Okay, so in this case, the program will also edit the slope on the left and the slope on the right. So on the right of the or after the last structure and before the first structure. Okay, this is the correct way. And so this means if I now choose here a different elevation, you can see that the program says this pipe, this slope will change. Okay, if I unclick it, it will not change. So again, this is my option, how I want to work with this program. You know, do I want to change the adjacent slopes and sections or not? Okay, if I say okay and click on apply, I will get exactly what was proposed by the program. And then there's one additional feature. So again, if I select this these four structures, I can unclick this changing of adjacent sections, and I can add a standard drop to all structures. So basically, I can instruct the program, make a drop on every structure, and the drop will be exactly this number. So in this case, as I said, this is a metric profile. So in this case, it says 0.25 meters. And of course, I can change it. So if I say 0.5, you will see the big change. And the program basically tells me, okay, this is your slope if you don't add the drops, and this will be your slope if you do add the drops. Okay, so I have this immediately this picture. Okay, what am I doing here? Is this does it make sense? Okay, and so of course, you know, I can change it again and again, and once I'm satisfied, I just click on apply, and I get this nice uniform drop on every structure. Okay. Of course, you don't have to do it on three structures. You can, you know, you can start here and you know, get something like this. So it's not a problem. Okay, whatever you want to do. And the last thing I want to show you a little bit is also there are some additional options. So there's a few more things you can actually adjust. So the first thing is the reference point. So basically the program starts with okay, thinking, okay, your reference line is the invert line, okay, which is the bottom inner elevation of the pipe. But you can basically choose any other point on the specific point on the pipe to use for your reference point. So, for example, if you want to use the pipe crown, you would say top outer elevation, and now when I select a few pipes, and okay, let me unclick this structure drops, you see that the program selected the top of the pipe. Okay, so this is because it selected the crown. So basically now I'm setting up the pipes by the crown, and if I want to, you know, if I want to go back to the invert, it's you know, it's quite easy. I just go back and say bottom inner elevation. Okay, so you can use any of these characteristic reference points on the pipe to you know, as the basis for your work. The second thing is actually quite simple. It says that, you know, I have been working with the default, which is when I change the slope, the end invert will change. You can also choose to change the start invert. Okay, so if I use this and select some pipes and now say, okay, I want an invert of 3. Okay, not the last structure changed, but the first structure changed. Okay, so that's basically the difference. So you can select how you work. Um, and one additional thing similar to this is after the invert elevation change, what should the program do? The default again is change the slope. What you can do is keep the existing slope, so keep the existing slope and change the the opposite elevation. So basically, again, if I say here 4%, or for example 5%, so you will see this, the slope of the exiting structure didn't change, but everything moved. Okay, so its behavior is a little bit different. Okay, whereas if I'm doing it like this and saying 5%, then I get a different result. Okay, so that's it. And the last thing I just want to mention is the setting update structure bottom elevation, which is by default is set on true, and this means that the structures will change when I change the slope. If I don't want the structures to change, I can set it to false. And now, for example, in this case, if I select, just a very mild slope, you see the structure didn't change at all. Okay, so these are the various settings of this tool. So the start is very simple. You just select a range, input a uniform slope, and apply, and that's it. But actually, you can scratch a little bit deeper, and there's a lot of different little options that you can use together, to get some good results. Okay, and the last thing which I want to show you is the trench calculation. So as a start for the trench calculation, I again started the Analyze and Edit Data tool, which was the first tool I showed you today, if you remember, for the bulk editing. And the reason why I started this, because there is a data group called excavations, and it shows you the results of this quick, simple trench volume calculation. Okay, so currently, of course, everything is 0 because we didn't do anything, but this is a secondary option for you to look at the results, and I will come back to this in the end and show you why this is also an interesting option. Okay, so if you want to start the trench calculation, you of course start the trench calculation tool, and it has two tabs. Okay, define parameters and calculate. Okay, so the first thing is what you need to do is to define your trench, so to speak. And again, this is not intended to be very precise. You have different tools for this in Civil 3D. This is designed for speed. Okay, very quickly get a good estimate on your volumes. Okay, that's it. It's not a scientific study. Okay, so there is a range of different trenches, trench types already coming with the program, and there's just a few data to set up for the trench, so it's not very difficult, and we can set up our own trench, of course, and we will give it a new name, and one thing to remember, this is just a picture. It's descriptive. It's not meant to show you how the trench actually is looking, because here, if we look at these variables, it says that the slopes are 90 degrees, which means the trench is actually not looking like this, but it has right angles. And of course, you can change these slopes to whatever degree you want. Or a different option is not to use degrees, but to use a ratio. So you can say, 1 to 1, for example, or 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or whatever you want to use. Okay, just remember to set the slopes again, because they don't reset automatically. The second thing you can set up is how the bottom width is calculated. So either you will set a fixed value. Okay, my bottom is in this case 1 meter, okay, or 1 foot, or 3 feet, or 3 meters, or whatever you want to set. The other option is to calculate it actually, and you calculate it with this formula shown on the bottom. So basically the program will take the diameter of the pipe, and then you have a left and a right offset. Okay, and the diameter of the pipe is you don't set it here, it's set, it needs to be set before, of course, by determining the pipes. You only set the offset. Okay, so you have the left and the right offset, and this is the value you can change. Okay, then the next thing you can select is the bedding. So you can select either to have the trench without bedding, or to have a concrete bedding, or to have a sand bed. Okay, and okay, in this case I will use the sand bed. Then you determine the thickness. So in this case I will say 0.1 meters. Okay, concrete bed I don't have, so leave it at 0. And pipe angle, you can see this. What is this angle? So basically this tells you if the pipe is dug into the bedding or not. So if I say 0 degrees, it's not dug in. If I say 180 degrees, this means the bedding will go up to half the diameter of the pipe. Okay, and for example, I can leave it like this. And the last thing which I can determine is the sand fill. So how high is the sand fill above the diameter of the pipe? So again, I can input a value. In this case, I'll say 0.1 meters, so 10 centimeters, and that's it. My trench is set. Okay, and now I can go on to the calculation. And the important thing also to notice is you don't have to do this every time. Okay, set up your 1 to 5 specific trenches which you use almost always, and set them up, and then use them with every project. They will just be saved in the program, and that's it. And you don't have to reset them every time. So you basically just do the calculation. So the calculation is quite simple. You select the network you want to calculate. In this case, I have only one. You select the surface. Again, in this case, very simple project. This one, I have only one surface. You have to select the trench type. So in this case, I want to use this new test trench, which I just made. You also select the output format. So by default is Excel. You can also store the data in a text file if you prefer. The next thing that you can set is the excavation zones. So and you don't have to basically you don't have to use them if you don't want. The idea is that you have different zones on different depths, so different soil types basically. And these soil types are important to you because you need to have a different machine to excavate them, or it takes more time, or more people, or whatever. And so you can set these zones here. In this case, I have two zones, so from 0 to 2 meters and from 2 meters to 100. 100 basically means infinity, okay? I will not have a trench that is 100 meters deep, of course. Okay, then you set your values, your data, your different variables, and you can, include, exclude, from the report whatever you like. You can show also cumulative data or not, and you can show the legend or not. If you don't show the legend, then everything will be written on top of each column, which maybe doesn't look the best, but on the other hand, it's quite simple to understand. Now, the important stuff. This is again the selection. So with most of our tools, you can always select on what part of the network you want this to be active. So for example, I can select the whole network, or for example, I can go and select it just for this one profile, okay? And the program will tell me that it selected 20 elements, okay? So after I set up all of this, I just click on run. The calculation is made. You can immediately observe below in the table, in the data table, already the values have changed, okay? So the calculation is done. What can I do next? I can save a report, and the program asks me append existing file, yes or no. No basically means no, create a, delete the old file and create a new file. So I save the report and I can open the report. Okay, and that's it. So this is now this short report. It says, which project and the excavation report for branch, so and so, and all my volumes are listed here. And it goes, from a station to station, and from structure to structure. And in the end, I get a summary. Okay, so in this case, I calculated just for one profile. I can, of course, calculate the entire project if I want to, and this is the important stuff. So I get the pipe volume, I get the volume of the sand bed, the sand filling zone, ground filling zone, the pipe length in the two zones. So in this case, I have actually pipe going deeper than 2 meters. I have the volume of excavation in both zones, and I have the total volume of excavation. Okay, and that's it. That's my Excel file. And also I get in the second tab, I get my pipes. So in this case, I have just one pipe with inner diameter 250, and the total 3D length is in meters 421 meters. Okay. So I can save. I don't need to save. That's it. If I just to show you very quickly, if I want to use cumulative data, I can do this as well, and I will just select everything right now. I need to rerun the calculation, of course. So this time it takes a little bit longer. And I need to save the report. Again, I'm replacing the old file. and I can just open the report in Excel. And of course, this time I did it for the whole network. And so I get it by branches, okay? And in the end, again, this is my summary. Okay, that's it. So again, you don't need to determine a new trench every time. You do it once, you use it every time. You just select it here from this drop-down list. You select your pipe network. You select your range of the pipe network. You know, run, save report, and that's it. You get to a report very, very, very quickly. So again, this is built for speed. It gives you quite good results very, very quickly. Okay, and the last thing I promised in the start. So why am I looking at this? Well, again, I can now use this group you know, to look at the excavation on any part of the drawing. You know, I can go in, I can select an element sequence anywhere and look at my excavation. I can select by branches. Okay, so the program then selects, he knows immediately what a branch is. You don't need to determine anything, you don't need to do anything. The program does it automatically. So I can, you know, I can review it. And you also see that I'm going over to the plan view, but the program immediately also knows in which profile this is. I can also, of course, view it by a profile. I can select a profile. And the nice thing about all of this is I can select everything now, and I can just say copy, and I can open Excel again, just a blank view, and there you go. So, of course, in this case, it's possibly a little bit obsolete because you have the other report, but maybe you want the report to look a different way. But of course, you can use this with any other function. So if I go to, you know, to pipe geometry and again click on the same profile and again select everything and just say copy and go to Excel, you know, get a new sheet, and there you have it. It's your pipe geometry for this profile. So it's very, very simple, very easy to get anything out of Urbano Visio to Excel. And also I can select this and then say draw table, and it will actually draw a standard AutoCAD table, which I can edit now. So this is an AutoCAD element. So you know, I can so I can give it a new name. I can you know, select it, insert a row below. I think this is the excavation volume, yes. So I can use a function to very quickly calculate the sum of this. So this is the total of this column, and so on. So again, it's a standard AutoCAD table. You can do anything, everything with it that you can do with a basic AutoCAD table. Okay, so this is all I wanted to show you directly in the program. So just to recap very quickly, I showed you just 4 tools today, and I didn't show all of the possibilities, especially with analyzing edit data. There's lots of additional stuff you can actually do with this. And of course, there's 8 other tools which I didn't show. So where can you get it? How can you try it? So just go to the App Store, Autodesk App Store for Civil 3D. Type in Urbano Visio, he will find it, go to it, download it. The trial is there. How can you buy it? Well, also simple, just go to studioars.com, look for this sign, license rental buy. You have the prices, you input your data and you can buy it. And it uses PayPal, and you can use, you don't have to have actually PayPal account, you can use any credit card you want. And of course, if you have any additional questions, you can write to us on this email. Don't get scared. Just because you're writing to sales, it doesn't mean you will immediately get invoiced. You can write to us with any question, technical or commercial or anything, and we will answer directly or point you to a technical person if this is a technical question. You can of course also follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn. And okay, so that's it from me. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat right now, or you can use the questions section. But of course, you can also use this email to get in touch with us, and we will then answer you by email. Okay, Joe, this is not a question. This is a statement. So, great program. Yeah, well, we try to do our best. But of course, I must say we do have great help and great support from our users. They, come up with great ideas, and it of course it helps us a lot to improve the program. Can we change pipe size and hold invert or crown option? Yes. Yes, you need to add change. There is a variable in Civil 3D which is called change on hold, I think, and you have to add it into your configuration, into your pipe configuration, and then you can change this data. Yes. Okay, so there are no more questions at this time. So I would just like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this webinar live. You can, as I said, you can download this PowerPoint with all the links, and you can download it right now. And we will be posting this recording online, and we will send you the links to this recording by email. So you can, of course, watch it again. You can share it with your colleagues. And if you have any kind of question, so technical or a sales question, or licensing or whatever comes to your mind, please use this email, sales@studioars.hr, and send us an email, and we will get in touch with you, and we will reply you and try to help you as best we can. So once again, thank you all for coming, and see you next time.